Howdy folks and welcome. I hope you're doing well. Today we'll be focusing on Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell, a forgotten classic. Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell was developed by Ubisoft Montreal and published by Ubisoft. Released in 2002 on the Xbox to critical acclaim, Splinter Cell back in the early 2000s was video games' answer to Hollywood's growing fondness of espionage. Movie franchises like Jason Bourne or Mission Impossible were highly regarded by critics and fans alike for their wildly engaging action and thrilling stories. Mix in the fact that this was post 9/11 and there was a lot of media surrounding the topic of protecting against quote-unquote terrorism. For reference, on release in 2002 to the end of March 2004, Splinter Cell sold more than 6 million units, which is bonkers to think about it all being on physical disc. Now, I think many of you reacted the same way I did when I heard the phrase Splinter Cell is a forgotten classic. As I just mentioned, more than 6 million people have played the first game alone. Now, if you've watched the channel before, you know I defend my points with my played experience and my thought process all being transparent, and this video will be no different. I say Splinter Cell is a forgotten classic even though it may be very close to our hearts, because the franchise hasn't seen a new entry since August 20th of 2013. And even then, the later entries in the franchise shied away from what made it a classic in the first place. That means if you were born anywhere after 2000, let's say 9, you probably don't know who Tom Clancy is or what Splinter Cell series means, which is a shame. For people who clicked on this video that did play the game when it came out, I would love to hear your thoughts, memories, or anything surrounding the franchise that you find important and feel comfortable sharing. If you played this in the mid-2010s, let us know how it felt compared to other games. I think it's really important to share stories and impressions of games because it shows how effective they were at creating lasting memories. It also creates a sense of community hearing about others' shared experiences. Now, there are some rumors swirling about a remake, but that's been around since 2001, and I'll believe it when I see a trailer. Now, what makes Splinter Cell a classic cannot be fully conveyed over video. I highly recommend playing the game if you haven't already, and I will try my best to bring all these special elements of this game to light. I was always impressed by the complex level design. Each mission felt like a puzzle that you meticulously sifted through, finding the right balance of stealth, distraction, and firepower. Each gadget lends itself to exploring the levels differently, and you truly feel like a super spy. It's like James Bond and Jason Bourne had a father whose name was Sam Fisher. Now, it's not lost on me that this is another Ubisoft franchise that I'm considering a forgotten classic. It makes me melancholy because I want to see franchises succeed, and I know there were dedicated people that worked on this game. You can feel it. As for the series and other retrospectives, we'll be playing the full game, highlighting core gameplay mechanics, story elements, level design, and much, much more. I hope you're in a comfy position, have something relaxing, and let's get started. Now, for the ease of recording, I chose to play this game on PC, and I was taken aback when doing research for the game that there were actual differences between the console versions. What I mean by that is that the PC Xbox versions have 3 extra missions apparently. The PS2 version has an exclusive level between Caltech and the Chinese embassy, and the GameCube even added new weapons and support. This was an odd choice, especially not having everything on the PC version. I understood that they were made by different development teams for each console, but wow, the old Ubisoft. This is very 2000s, and I love it. I think every game needs a trailer before you actually play it. It might sound sarcastic, but I honestly love how it shows you can go loud or quiet.
You know what you need to do.
Even though Splinter Cell isn't an action title per se, it does have some great shootouts, and the choice is always yours. Now, I'm a sucker for newsreels being the pseudo-narrator. The game does a good job at making the upcoming events seem grounded in some sort of reality, as well as establishing the world the developers have created.
Assassination of that country's president by separatist rebels from the Abkhazia region. Continued fighting in the Abkhazia and South Ossetia regions has hindered Georgia's hopes of integration into Western institutions. Industry baron Kombain Nikolad seized power today in a bloodless coup, installing himself in the presidential palace behind a wall of political and military support. The charismatic billionaire plans on holding elections within a matter of days to affirm his seat of power, and promises a pristine and profitable relationship with America and the West. The vice president called his visit to Georgia an honor and called Georgian President Kombain Nikolads a man with his eyes on the future.
I love this introduction to Sam. What a voice.
Sam Fisher. I can't believe you beat me here.
I like to be early. Hello, Colonel.
You can use my name. The room's safe.
Lambert.
Good to see you again. I trust NSA orientation is going well?
Well enough. Everybody's been real coy about what exactly I'm allowed to know.
It's the nature of the agency. We don't let any one person know everything.
If you don't know the name Michael Ironside, well, now you know one of the best voice actors ever.
Because if you're a happy guy, you come in and go, "Hi, I'm gonna kill you." Here we go. Fisher interrogates enemy soldiers who obviously have no information, but he just interrogates them for the hell of it. Stay quiet. You don't want your life to end in the boys' room.
Don Jordan also does a fantastic job as Lambert.
But tradecraft is something you don't forget. It's like riding a bike.
What a great way to introduce us to the character of Sam. Everything from the slightly graying hairs to him casually saying he's been out of the field for years. There's probably a good reason why they want this guy, which already makes you feel like you're controlling a certified badass. And you are. The movement tutorial does a good job of explaining the mechanics, even though I usually didn't implement most of them. Now, this game is not perfect, and early 2000s controls can be something to wrap your head around. It wasn't until I want to say 6 hours into the game where I felt comfortable maneuvering Sam exactly where I wanted to go. We get our typical lockpicking explanation. I enjoyed the lockpicking in this game, and later you can find a gadget that will automatically break locks, which can help you in a tight situation. I laughed out loud hearing the guard complaining about Sam's grip, and knocking him out was hilarious.
Hi there.
Hi.
You're not going easy on me, are you?
Not so tight. That hurts.
Sorry about that. What's the door code?
28469.
It was a pleasure working with you.
Likewise.
These small details might not seem like a lot. I believe these are consciously or subconsciously creating a deeper connection to the world. It's not just some aloof guard, right? It seems like a real operative that probably didn't know what the heck they were getting into. The stealth in this game was beyond incredible for its time and still holds up to this day, par some weird situations that we'll get into later. For now, just understand that your suit can sense light and that stealth is the #1 way of going about business. For now. Quickly, how amazing are these lighting effects? This game and Fear really went out of their way to nail the ambiance with the lighting. Also for 2002, having different textures and floors actually affecting the sound the player made was really interesting, and at certain points I had to really pay extra attention to where I was placing my next step. We pass the test and meet up with Lambert and Wilkes.
Let me introduce you to Vernon Wilkes Jr.
Hello.
Hey, I've heard crazy things about your work.
I hope you don't mind. I told him some of your stories from Kuwait.
We're all friends here.
Right on.
Junior Wilkes is a longtime NSA employee. He'll be your wheels, wings, and weapons. He coordinates transportation and equipment.
Great.
For sure. Man, you must be itching to get back out in the field, huh?
It's all I'm good at.
Well, it's all we need. Welcome to the NSA.
I'm sure things are going to come together famously. Third Echelon is a brand new initiative, and we're going to have a lot to prove.
Right.
The two of you will be Third Echelon's first team on the ground. Be ready for it, and do us proud. Welcome to the NSA.
oh man, the completion music is so good, but the NSA, there's a joke in here somewhere. For our first mission, we're sent to Georgia. I enjoy how they set up what I believe to be how Lambert and others see what Sam is seeing, and also visualizing his vitals. You know you're the top of the top when you get a fitted out Osprey and some augmentation that makes you closer to Adam Jensen than another human.
Don't like that.
I know. It's for after we land. You better hurry up, Grim. We touch down in Georgia in 15.
I'm already done. Lambert? Hey, Irving, do you read me?
Tell her I read her.
He reads you.
Good. You ready to get to work?
I'd feel better if I knew what was going on.
You know what you need to. The CIA lost a mole inside Georgian President Kombain Nikoladzi's cabinet. Her name is Alice Madison. They sent in Agent William Robert Blaustein to find her and lost him too.
Are we working with the CIA's cooperation?
Blaustein is outfitted with subdermals just like yours. That'll be your best lead to find him.
You didn't answer my question.
We'll tell you what you need to know. You're not out there alone, Fisher. Through me, you're attached to a dozen of the best NSA minds we have. There are political complexities with Georgia you'd need a week to understand.
I've just about memorized the speech, Lambert.
Well, start believing it. This is Third Echelon's maiden voyage, and we need it to go smooth as butter.
The back and forth between Lambert and Fisher throughout the game is fantastic, and you can tell these two have had experiences in the past, probably good and bad. Our first mission is to find two missing CIA operatives that were close to Georgian President Nikoladze. With the current mission and remembering the newsreels, the story already felt tense, and we haven't even started the real mission. Loading into the first level was mind-blowing. The graphics aren't perfect, but by gosh, the sense of dread and excitement knowing that I had to find the path in this huge area rekindled something left dormant inside of me. Sam Fisher was back. Each level in this game is expertly crafted in the lens of exploration. You will be climbing on buildings, rappelling on ropes, shooting out lights, and taking down guards all throughout detailed environments and varied geographical locations. We're tasked with finding one of our informants, and lo and behold, they're in a burning building.
Jesus, but that was close. Take a left just ahead and cut through the roof. You'll find a stairwell on the opposite corner. Take it to the top floor.
This part made me think of the Matrix being led over the phone. Anyways, we find our informant, and he's in not the best shape.
Don't bother. I'm as good as dead. You're looking for Blaustein and Madison.
Yeah.
Madison was deep into Nikoladze's cabinet. She was onto something big. Blaustein must have figured it out.
How do I find him?
Blaustein's black box, the tracking relay for his subdermals. It's stashed in his safe house just east of Moravi Square.
Lambert, do we have resources to evac this guy?
I said don't bother. Whatever Madison found, it's big. She kept saying proof would mean war.
He lets us know about the agents, and we're tasked to find out something big about the Georgian president. To continue on, we have to find one of the agent's black boxes. Now, not having played this game for a while, and also playing on the PC with mouse and keyboard, there were some adjustment periods. For an older game, I was surprised how well some of the systems worked. You won't be getting any automatic change of cover, but you can get some good wall movement. I also came into this thinking that I would be all stealth, and I soon figured out that would not be the case.
Enemy on the...
I must be crazy.
We search through the apartment and find the black box. The mystery thickens. And now is a great time to mention this game gets tense. Like, I was catching myself sweating at certain times. There was usually no timer for things, but the sense of urgency came from yourself, which was interesting in retrospect. We leave the apartment and are met with this situation. Now, there is no wrong way to play this game, but throughout the video you might audibly question my decision making. I could not get past these two guards, and when I play these games, I try not to look up what to do. At a certain point, I just shot both of them. I told you, I learned quickly how unstealthy I was at the start. Sneaking around the streets felt great. Sam's movement can fluctuate based on your movement with the mouse wheel, and you can duck and dive between shadows pretty flawlessly. We enter the square and find information on how to enter the police precinct. One great design implementation that the developers used was opening up sealed doors or adding new guards once the player had accomplished something within the level. It made me feel always on edge about what could happen next. Again, no game is perfect. We enter the police station and oh boy, hearing the click of the night vision, there was something so sinister and cool about it.
Who in the hell are you supposed to be?
Is there anybody else seeing a bionic commando?
We make our way past some guards and locate the bodies.
I've got Agents Blaustein and Madison.
Rest in peace. Somebody cut out their subdermals.
Where do we go from here?
We follow the subdermals if we can.
There's a security camera here.
Good thinking. We'll track the subdermals from the video archives. The station's surveillance room is on the top floor.
Ouch, so I guess they had the same thing that we were implanted with? We head upstairs to grab the surveillance video and get this hilarious dialogue.
May I help you?
You're the same cop.
Yes, but this is the public relations desk.
Fine. I would like to register a complaint.
Of course, sir. If you could just have a seat until somebody's ready to help you.
You've got to be kidding me.
I could easily have you arrested, sir.
We locate where the tapes were and use the computer. Another thing I love about this game is that you don't just finish a level when you get the main objective, you usually have to escape, which made it seem more realistic in my opinion. There wasn't half as much Deus Ex Machina as there are in other games like this. If you haven't seen the movie Threads, well, don't watch it if you have anxiety, but Splinter Cell kind of uses the same method to create tension using the news. You can see the rumblings of war at each headline, and the small writing underneath the news signals something bigger is brewing. Our next mission is finding the person who took the subdermals from the two agents, which lands us in an embassy. Splinter Cell's choice of level placement was genius. I was always excited to see where Lambert sent us next. For now, we have to survive the laser security
Grimsdaughter
grid.
just pulled up the schematics on the Ministry. They've got a laser security grid online in the courtyard.
So I stay out of the courtyard.
Don't let them trigger any alarms at all. We still don't have any official approval from the Joint Chiefs for this operation, so one slip-up and it's mission over.
Each level isn't so straightforward either, with multiple side objectives and caveats. We don't know where Grinko is, the man who took the CIA agent's subdermals, but we do know his car. After interrogating the poor soul, we learn that Grinko is here for a meeting with someone named Mass. We're tasked to eavesdrop on them.
Why did you rip it out with pliers? We had some difficulty with Blostein's chip. You can see fibers of muscle tissue still attached.
Nasty. Nasty.
You're in the wrong line of work to avoid getting gore on your hands.
Whatever Nikolaevich does in Azerbaijan is his own conscience's burden.
You are just a tool?
You're a tool. I'm the technology. I'm the cleanup man. All the blood's on yours and Nikolaevich's hands. I'm clean.
And it is?
It's what?
Clean.
Azerbaijan? Yeah, man. The operation's goddamn immaculate.
Again, the game has such good sense of pacing story-wise as well as gameplay. Hearing Lambert's voice and tone start to shift is startling.
I'm nervous when the bad guys start making blood jokes.
That conversation's going straight to the Joint Chiefs, and we're going to need more.
Nikolaev's computer.
You guessed it. Get inside his office and access that machine. Alarms aren't mission critical anymore. We're moving into Fifth Freedom territory.
I very much enjoyed how they added more story with data sticks as well. You could read information on the computer, or enemies would sometimes drop the data sticks that you could glean off some information. It reminded me of finding terminals in Fallout and reading the lore. We get to Grinko's computer and oh boy.
Christ almighty.
What do you have?
Bad things. Keep transmitting. We need to see how far this goes.
What's going on?
Corpses, refugee camps. They've had commandos at work in Azerbaijan for weeks. How the hell did we miss this? Keep transmitting.
Alert! All men to full alert! We have an intruder in Nikolaz's office! Wake up, you bastards! I want troops in there now! Gringo, sir. I've got 3 men about to breach Nikolaz's office.
Hold your position!
When I heard the radio message, I freaked out. After dispatching the 3 guards, we learned that Nikolaz had started a secret invasion of Georgia's neighbor, Azerbaijan. We meet up with Wilkes in the garage.
What the hell did you find in there, man? Lambert's flipping out big time.
What's he saying?
That we're going to war.
What a line. So, somehow Georgia attacking Azerbaijan has NATO coming in, which was perplexing to me. The news doesn't really get into why, since neither country is a part of NATO, but I digress.
Azerbaijani casualties are unknown, but early estimates number in the high.
The freedom-loving people of the world cannot stand idly by and allow an act of such staggering inhumanity and scale.
In their 3rd day of fighting, U.S.-led NATO troops took 3 more Azerbaijani villages occupied by Georgian special forces. Kombain Nikolaz has vanished, along with his top military advisors. Speculation points to Nikolaz's fear of a war crimes tribunal as motivation. A 2-minute webcast from locations unknown, Georgian President Kombain Nikolaz called America and its allies an army of scarecrows, declaring them helpless to defend themselves or their homeland. The precise nature of Nikolaz's threat, experts fear, could make itself known within...
Whoa, so it seems Nikolaz has gone rogue, and we need to find him, which takes us to a rig off of the Caspian Sea. What a cool visual to a start of a level. Just seeing the scale of this thing brought out an audible, what the? This was the 2nd level, and I already was blown away by the depth and the feel of what was being presented. We make our way to the oil rig, and we have our first movement moment. As some older games are, the movement is a bit clunky. Sometimes Sam doesn't want to grab a ledge, and this was one of those times. We eventually get on the rig, but are told that NATO strike teams have made this base number 1 on their list. Our mission is to grab the technician supplying the data to Nikolaz, hopefully finding out his location. After fighting our way through some mercenaries while chasing after this tech in his briefcase, we slap him in the face and mission complete.
Great job, Fisher.
We get a cutscene and some character development. I guess knowing that Sam has a daughter.
How much longer is this gonna take?
Your daughter's on the line. Just running the encryption.
Black hell!
What's up, Gib?
The data you glommed off the rig. There's no way the Georgians could have gotten this much intel without a man inside the CIA.
Fisher, you're up.
Dad?
Sarah. Hi.
Where are you?
On my way home.
I thought you were gonna call last week.
Something came up. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Were you in Georgia?
Honey, you know I can't answer that.
Yeah, I know. I was just watching it on TV. Ah!
Sarah. Sarah!
Oh man, this stuff scares me. For a game made in 2002 talking about cybersecurity and cyber terrorism, it's pretty prophetic. And then there is some stuff that isn't so prophetic.
Let me reiterate. We cannot afford any casualties. The NSA doesn't operate in the U.S. We don't spy on other agencies.
So Lambert has gained from the information from the previous level that there was probably a mole in the CIA. First an embassy and now the CIA? Yeah, Sam Fisher is third echelon. We break in through a vent and make our way through the innards of the complex. I felt like a spy, and with the music slowly creeping in the background and the faint sounds of cameras moving, I couldn't help but smile at times. We get access to the basement where the server room is held and are told that our assault rifle has been placed in the storage room. Knowing what this bad boy meant, I was very eager to gain access to it. Getting the information from the CIA server, we learned that the leak is coming from...
All right, Lambert.
Hey, are you okay?
Good. Grim?
I'm inside. Just there. The leak
You're
is
not supposed to be here.
PC registered to one Mitchell Doherty.
Great. Doherty's PC is your new objective, Fisher. I'll upload the details to your OPSAT.
This will come back later, but remember that the CIA has been making these like auto turrets? We get access to the mole's computer and are told to grab Doherty when he goes on a smoke break. Again, this game could have just had corridors and hallways lined with patrolling guards, which it does, but it also has something like this room. If you watch the channel, you know I'm a sucker for small details. Details like these are icing on top of the cake.
We have 3 points of attack. 2 transformers coming from County Electric Supply and the backup generator. Agent Marks has been trying to sell us on the idea of electrostatic fuel bombs, but the blast radius doesn't figure. A logic bomb activated in the hospital's archival system 70 hours earlier, approximately 10 p.m. on the 28th of October, effectively wiped out our chances of tracing the attack digitally.
Junior Wilkes is in position for extraction. He's with Special Agent Baxter, an interrogations expert. They've got a disappearance truck parked in the back.
Good God, disappearance truck? And we don't spy on American agencies. Anyways, this part of the level was horrible. I don't know if there was an easier way of getting him to the disappearance truck, but having to stop and put down this guy each time I saw a guard made me take some deep breaths. We finally get the guy to the truck and learn that Sarah is fine. Just a bit worried about all this terrorism.
Did Lambert tell you about Sarah?
No.
She's fine. The blackout spooked her, but she's completely all right. Don't get too emotional. Let's get out of here.
Thanks, Wilkes.
So apparently this sack of garbage hoarded data on an insecure computer, and that's what allowed the infiltration? Are you serious? That's crazy. How did this guy get hired by the CIA? Well, it turns out that the Georgian president Nikolaj has a farm of trolls that were used for the exact purpose of destabilizing the West. Wait, Ubisoft? You should have done this with the country a little bit north of Georgia. Nikolaj keeps threatening war against the West, and we're tasked with getting some information from a technician named Ivan, who worked on this disinformation campaign.
Are you sure he's dead?
Come on, you can see his brain. Of course he's dead.
What about his encryption thing?
The key?
Yes, the encryption key.
I got it. It's destroyed. Let's move on.
Whoa, the visuals never cease to amaze me. I think it's a combination of both graphics, lighting, and effects. We gain access to the building and figure out that the Russian mercenaries aren't too smart. Something about early 2000s silencers is so satisfying. We find 2 technicians, and after saving them, find out...
I need an encryption key.
We don't have any.
Why should I believe you?
There is a bomb.
What?
The Spetsnaz planted it to destroy the data archives, but they put it right next to the gas pipes. It will take out this whole floor.
How do I get there?
You will need the keypad code for the door. I think it's 33575.
After easily disabling the bomb, we continue forward. I love when you enter an area that is pitch black and the guards just turn on the lights. You never knew when they would pull this kind of stuff, so I was confused on why their voices suddenly changed.
Golden.
We already checked this hallway.
Something's over there.
After clearing some more wall mines and killing half the mercenaries, we eventually stumble on Ivan.
You're police?
Yes and no. The police are on their way. Until they get here, I'm the only friend you've got, and I'm not a very good one.
We have to leave. We have to hurry. They'll find us soon.
It's not my job. I'm here for your encryption key.
That wasn't the deal.
The deal still stands. The feds will get you out of here alive, but first you have to give me the key.
That wasn't the deal I made with the woman on the phone.
Listen, do I come to your job and tell you how to murder civilians?
What?
No. So don't come to my job and tell me how
What
to
a
do
lie.
mine.
With Ivan's encryption key in hand, we need to make our escape by the roof. Using frag grenades and using the newly acquired assault rifle felt powerful. I didn't think it was over the top either, since we were trying to escape this huge cleaning. Also, it was in Virginia? I thought this was happening in Russia. We make it to the Osprey when... No, not Wilkes. So this is where the additional mission should have been. It's really awkward story-wise because one of the characters even mentions going to Kola. The wiki has this to say about the mission. Fisher infiltrates the Russian power plant to find evidence of Nikolad's whereabouts, and that you escape on a train? Why was this developed only for PS2? Why was there reference towards this mission in the PC version? I don't know, it doesn't make much sense. Anyway, we somehow find out that Nikolad's might be with the Chinese in their embassy in Myanmar or somewhere around there. We drop down and are informed that this will be a clean mission, no bodies. I think these were my favorite sort of missions because it forced me to play differently than I normally do. I don't know how to describe the way Splinter Cell pulls off its narrative. Of course there are characters talking to you, but there's this sporadic linearity to it. What does that mean, you ask? What I'm trying to convey is that even though you're going from point A to point B for most objectives, each objective isn't straightforward. You know that it's going to lead to more outrageous tasks from Lambert and quick thinking on your part. This sort of escalation in each mission keeps the suspense high and made the pacing of the game feel organic. If this game was remade, please don't go open level. There is a charm to this game because of its directed style and scripting. Going through the streets of the city was excellent. From the music to the lighting, I really felt like I was going through a police lockdown. Even going into the sewer somehow felt special, like I was checking off a bingo card for special agents. We meet up with our informant, and what was I saying about escalation?
You here? Okay, we need to do this quickly.
Go ahead.
That map will show you the general's office in the courtyard.
I thought it was the ambassador's office.
It was, but some Chinese general has been using it. You can see for yourself. You get into the embassy grounds through the rear service entrance.
Is there a gate?
Yes, but a delivery truck will be pulling through shortly. You can sneak in past the truck, no problem. But you only have one chance at it.
Solid work.
I'm very good at my job.
Stealthy going through the streets to breaking into the Chinese embassy on a one-off Trojan horse? Unfortunately, like with any old game, there were times that things did not work. The entrance to the Chinese embassy was one of those times. If you haven't watched my Brothers in Arms video, there is a level called Buying the Farm, and this was my buying the farm moment. So this was sort of on me for saving at this point, but F5 is a strong muscle memory. Not only did I have people behind me investigating, but the guard in front of me that sees me kept walking towards me and getting killed by the truck. Lambert said no casualties, but this is crazy. After trying everything to sneakily get past this part, or just not having the guard die for about 30 minutes, and some deep breathing exercises, I used an invisibility cheat. Yes, I do not feel good about it, but by God, I value my time. Somewhat. Anyways, we get past this cursed part and listen in on Nikolad's and this Chinese general's conversation.
Armed in one and placed the next. Of course the Ark. But you know the details. We need to strike together, or we may as well not strike at all.
Turns out Nikolad's is ready to murder American POWs because that's what I guess terrorists do.
Or the cronyism of its allies. The world is not yours alone. And the soldiers you send into it are all equally guilty of American fascism. At 5:30 p.m. Greenwich Standard Time, the United States soldiers captured in a just war against their motherland will be executed. their deaths broadcast for the world to watch.
And wants to broadcast it for the whole world to see. This is another solid mission, and I want to talk quickly about what I mentioned before about these levels feeling like puzzles. They truly are, and if you played games like Hitman, you know that each level has various details and timings that make it unique. Even though I died a lot, and I mean a lot, it always taught me something. I was happy that you got infinite saves, and even though F5 was a gift and a curse. Anyways, all these levels have so far been fantastic, and I'll try to highlight more of their design. We get past some guards and find the antenna for the broadcast. Remember that room from the tutorial level? The one where different textured surfaces will give off sound? I had completely forgotten this was a thing, so cue 20 minutes of me thinking that I was going not slow enough, that the guards were supposed to come out, something around those lines. Again, this is the classic, but there are so many little things that could be improved, like quality of life stuff. We finally disabled the antenna, and what did I expect?
What the hell just happened? The broadcast antenna's down. We've got no outgoing signal.
You're under attack. The Americans are here. They've taken out the broadcast antenna.
Get Nicholas out of here. I want his helicopter airborne now. I want a squad of technicians with an armed escort on the roof and repairing that antenna. I want the Americans found and killed.
Now that the bee's nest is rattled, we have some time to find the captured US soldiers. Having the enemies on high alert was fantastic, and being in a foreign meatpacking facility had this great horror ambiance to it. It also had one of my favorite parts to this game being the fog or like the dry ice, whatever was causing this effect. I immediately shouted thermals, and hearing the click, mwah, chef's kiss. Fighting enemies knowing they couldn't see me but I could see them had me cosplaying as the Predator. We get to an even lower part of the slaughterhouse, and lo and behold, these mercenaries have the CIA turrets? Did this happen because they just stole the concept from the data leak, or did someone from the CIA just give them weapons? It wouldn't be the first time. At least we could reprogram them. We finally reach the hostages and find out they also captured Chinese dignitaries. Uh-oh. This ambassador is very willing to help out some random spy, but there was no time to think about that. Do you hear this music?
Armed to converge on the dissidents. We'll kill them all.
When you get a stand your ground fight, you get this amazing 2000s like Austin Powers-esque music. I couldn't get enough of it. It was so wildly out of left field for a game that usually has sinister tones that somehow it fit, at least for me. After taking down the waves of enemies and saving both the troops and ambassador, we get our mission complete, but things are still foobarred. To prevent the impending war, we're going to need proof that this Chinese general has actually splintered off. Fei Rong is trying to escape the Chinese embassy with possible nuclear device, and we have to stop him. I enjoyed sneaking back into the Chinese embassy, and using different route was awesome. We break in and need to access Fei Rong's computer for evidence against him. I love how Lambert does take pauses in his lines when he or the tech are looking something up. It's a neat little touch.
I don't know how much of this we can use. They've wiped clean most of... Lambert, take a look.
Oh, dang. We just found the missing Americium-239. Back in a second, Fisher. New objective, Fisher. There's a convoy of trucks.
Anyways, Lambert informs us that there is indeed nuclear components, but when unassembled, we'll be fine. This level also introduces using thermals as a way to get the pin for the doors, which I kinda didn't understand at first. When I realized there was a fourth number, it clicked. Anyways, we get past this turret puzzle, which I enjoyed. It just shows you that shooting out the lights is always the way to go. We make it to the trucks and blow them up. Lambert, are you sure I won't get any radiation poisoning? It's finally time to find the general, and I like that if you didn't shut off the light, the general would just kill you. Turning off the light, he just shoots aimlessly, and getting behind him is pretty easy. For some reason, it gave me this RPG feel, like I had failed a perception check or something. It's a sequence that doesn't usually happen in modern-day action games. With the data secured, we gotta get the hell out of Dodge. Document fire? Guys, this is your embassy. I'm sure you have like 12 burner chimneys in the basement. With proof of Feirong's rogue status, the US and Chinese restored diplomatic relations, and now it's time to find Nikolads. If you've been reading some of the data sticks throughout the game, you have heard the name the Ark, some sort of mass destruction weapon that Nikolads wants so badly that he might be willing to go back to Georgia to the presidential palace to obtain it.
Guys win.
Were you talking to Lambert?
Yeah. How soon before we touch down in Georgia?
We don't. You'll be making a halo jump.
Goody.
Dad, is that you?
Sarah? It's good to hear your voice.
Are you coming home? The TV said you guys beat Nikolad.
It's not that simple.
The presidential palace is one of the coolest levels ever made, and I would kill to see this in Unreal 5 or another game engine. There is everything at play here. All you've learned throughout the previous levels, you'll need to utilize here. Also, can we talk about how Sam's covered face looks so badass? This level does a great job with storytelling through data sticks. If you don't pay attention to them, you would have missed this crazy grab by the CIA's new figurehead. The new president knows sort of what the Ark is, and is having this back and forth with his own advisors if he should double-cross Nikolads or even the CIA. This felt great, like I was back reading my Tom Clancy novels. It was for people that wanted to take things slow and enjoy detail the developers gave. Coming to the end of this game, I don't think I've felt this much satisfaction completing levels in a single-player game in a while. There is something about Splinter Cell that is so rewarding and visceral that if you haven't played this and you're still here, stop it. Go get the game. Thank me later. There were so many traps and fights in the palace that I still remember from when I was a kid playing this on GameCube. From the music to the aesthetics of this level, it was enthralling. Oh, it's the music. Hell yeah. We finally catch up to Nikolads and...
Nobody move!
Hands in the air! Nobody move! Nobody move!
Come by Nikolads. And who is your friend? An American?
Ask him.
You will give us the Ark.
I am not God.
You will give...
Oh. This was awesome. And with the information that a nuclear device was in our homeland, Sam and I were ready to roll.
Or I can take it from your corpse. You have 5 seconds to decide. 4 seconds. 3, 2...
Show yourself!
Lambert informs us that we have the 5th freedom to take out Nikolads, and we set up the shot.
That data you're carrying is the last of it.
The last of what?
Nikolads' threat against the U.S. Our highest priority right now is keeping what you're carrying out of enemy hands. The Osprey's waiting.
Shots fired in Kristavi's office. Engaging hostile.
I love this cinematic, even if it looks like it was made in 1995. We get our last news broadcast to tell us that everything is fine. Don't panic. Everything
by
is
the
fine.
National Guard. Authorities cited a gas leak as the reason for the evacuation, stressing that today's events had no relation whatsoever to Combine Nikolads or the Georgian information crisis. Hopegate, less than half an hour from downtown Washington, D.C., will, since the recovery...
History will not forget your resolve. History will not forget your resolve.
Dad, what's going on? You haven't laughed since the Reagan administration.
It's nothing. Forget about it.
This is 2000s to a T. I love Sam's callous laughter, and what a great line. Oh, the secure line? Yeah, you know there's a sequel.
We have kept the bright flame
That's the
of
secure
American
line, honey.
freedom
It's from me.
burning throughout the world.
You dead?
Hello, Lambert.
Whoa, thank you so much for taking this journey with me. I cannot wait to hear your thoughts on the game and the franchise. I also would love to hear your memories about playing the game back in the day. I found with the Brothers in Arms video that the sharing of stories was the most important. Honestly, this game holds up so well. From the story to the gameplay, visuals to mechanics, Splinter Cell is another game made long ago that still holds up because the things they focused on are timeless. I truly hope that people that care about this franchise come back to it, and that Ubisoft gets their you-know-what together and brings back some of these classics. Don't forget about Splinter Cell. I know I won't. Sam might be obfuscated in the shadows, but I know I see that tri-green tint somewhere in the night. Without a doubt, Splinter Cell is a classic, and a game close to my heart. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a comment about your experience with the game, or if you haven't played it, what intrigued you? Click the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. If you really enjoyed the video, check out my channel. There's something there for everyone. I hope you're doing well, and as always, see you next time.